It is 7:30 and time for Sunset News. Now we bring you the latest local news, international news, community talk, story of the day, tomorrow's weather and economic indicators, as well as sports news. I am Glenora Shipura. Today's news starts with Trans-Namib. Now, the national railway carrier Trans-Namib announced that it is experiencing a revival of rail tourism sector after the massive impact of COVID-19 on the tourism sector. Its partner organization, Ravos Rail, which operates throughout Southern Africa, recently embarked on its first 10-day biannual Namibian round-trip safari ride since 2019. Now, the vintage train with 18 coaches is considered to be the pride of Africa on wheels, as Trans-Namib puts it in a press release. Now, the Society of International Railway Travelers has consistently rated Ravos amongst the top 5 luxury trains in the world. The 10-day journey starts in Pretoria in South Africa, and upon arrival in Namibia, i.e. it reaching the border point at Itemsvlei, locomotives of Trans-Namib haul the train from Itemsvlei to the rest of the country. Now, the Canadian gas and oil exploration company Reconnaissance Energy Africa announced the successful completion of its previously announced offering of a total of 7,475,000 shares at a unit price of Canadian dollars 6.35, which earned the company gross proceeds to the value of Canadian dollars 47,466,250. Now, this announcement on the 1st of March 2022 follows an announcement a month ago by Recon Africa that it will rigorously defend lawsuits by company shareholders that have dragged it to court in the United States Court in Brooklyn, New York. Now, the court has consolidated similar cases into one class action, whereby Recon Africa stands accused of apparently having violated American security laws. Now, the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, this morning confirmed the detection of 3 typhoid fever cases in Namibia. The first case was confirmed on 27 January in the Windhoek district. Now, following the report of the first case, 9 contacts, including 3 close contacts, were traced and tested for typhoid fever. Among the 3 close contacts, 2 tested positive. Now, typhoid fever is transmitted throughout food and water contaminated by feces and urine of an infected person. Polluted water is the most common source of typhoid transmission. People can transmit the disease as long as the bacteria remain in the body. Now, most people are infectious prior to and during the first week of recovery, but 10% of untreated patients will discharge bacteria for up to 3 months. Now, typhoid fever can be treated with antibiotics. Vit de Vet, the Windhoek second-hand car dealership owner, is being accused of selling more than 60 cars and keeping the profits for himself. He was granted bail on Friday. He will appear in court again on 19 July this year. Kristen Kruger filed this report.
Mr. Vit de Vet, who is being accused of selling people's cars and keeping the profits for himself, appeared in the Windhoek Magistrate Court on the 25th of February and was granted bail to the amount of $30,000. He must also adhere to the following bail conditions. He must hand in his travel documents and not apply for new ones until his case is finalized. He may not leave the district of Windhoek without the permission of an officer. He must report at the police station once a week, and he must not interfere with police investigations. We are informed by the private detective, Mr. Michael Nieuwoud, who is investigating the case alongside of the Namibian police, that he has already handed in his travel documents and that he will appear in court again on the 19th of July.
Now, the process to appoint Namibia University of Science and Technology Vice-Chancellor Harold Namop was erratic and skewed, former candidate Frednat Gideon has argued. Gideon wants the decision by the NAST Council set aside and rather a recommendation that he be appointed to the position and that he was overlooked, he argued in court papers. Now, Gideon also challenged the decision on the basis that he achieved a better score of 68% in comparison of Namop's 64% in a qualitative assessment of the two for the position of VC. Now, the latest newly resettled farmers in Oshotanjupa, Oshikoto, and Kunene regions have received their allotment letters from the Land Ministry after receiving intensive training on various farming disciplines. Now, the farmers were allocated land on the acquired, planned, and demarcated 6 farms with 13 farming units. This is according to Lands and Agriculture Minister Karl Schleitwein. In tonight's Community Talk, we take a look at the urban gardening project in Swakopmund right after the break. Welcome back to Sunset News. Now let's have a look at our community talk. Now, Adam Hartman recently visited the urban gardening project in Swakopmund, from where the municipality, along with other stakeholders, are plowing back to create an income for previously unemployed residents. Let's have a look.
They say every great journey starts with a single step. And this is one little journey that I want to tell you about. And it's part of the Swakopmund municipality's urban agricultural project at the old sewage works, transforming the barren area into greenhouses and shade net areas in which fresh produce is being harvested for local consumption, for local sale, for income generation for the beneficiaries, and also for future food security. As you can see here behind me is a greenhouse which is growing peppers, chilies, tomatoes, lettuce, and these products are already being sold on a weekly basis to anybody who comes to this agricultural project, urban agricultural project, and supports it. The greenhouse is being developed, modernized. There's going to be automated sprinkling systems, and we are also seeing the development of a very large shaded area, which will also form part of the whole urban agricultural scheme. This specific green or shade net was sponsored and funded by the Japanese government with the support of the United Nations Development Program. Now, the project officially launched in 2021, last year, has now got 25 beneficiaries, 20 women and 5 men. These beneficiaries now consider themselves not as beneficiaries anymore. They consider themselves as producers, local producers of fresh produce. These beneficiaries are also mostly were unemployed, but they are now able to make an income for themselves. Poor urbanized populations in southern Africa spend most of their money on fresh produce, which makes them very susceptible to food insecurity. It has also been said that Namibia imports approximately 70% of its fresh produce from South Africa. So what is happening here is also the town Swakopmund has decided that it wants to ensure local food security, you grow what you eat and you eat what you grow mentality. For this town believes that by 2050 this population will grow by 75% as people move from rural areas to urbanized areas, hoping to find greener pastures and work, and with that obviously the question is, where's all the food going to come from? Who's going to secure the food? And so this local urban agricultural project initiative is hoping to start off a movement, so to speak, where a trend where people start growing their own food, that by the time the population grows to an extent which puts pressure on services, which puts pressure on food availability, people will be able to grow their own food and also to sell it, earn an income, and not just that, but transfer the skills that they've learned in the experience of growing their own food.
Stay with us as we bring you economic news right after the break.
Go far with Paratus. Go further with Paratus Fiber. Paratus offering high-speed, reliable fiber connectivity, starting from only 599 Namibian dollars per month. Unlimit your lifestyle and visit na.paratus.africa for more information.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now let's have a look at our economic news. Now, growth in credit extended to households edged higher at 3.2% at the end of January 2022, compared to the 2.1% a month earlier. Now, the increase was reflected across all the credit categories, but more specifically in overdraft credit category, the central bank said. Now, credit extended to businesses rose by 2.0% at the end of January 2022, compared to a contraction of 0.1% a month ago. Now, the increase reflects a rise in demand for short-term credit facilities, specifically by corporates in the agricultural, fishing, transport sectors. Now, according to Simon Storm, the increase in overdrafts in January could be as a result of overspending over the festive season and households in general being short on cash. Now, a U.S. business delegation wrapped up a visit to Namibia, during which they met with the Namibian Vice President, His Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, other government leaders and Namibian businesses. Now, the United States lead diplomat for U.S. economic policy in Africa, Akune Cook, brought the delegation on her visit to Namibia in order to strengthen business trade and investment relationships between the countries. Now, that relationship has grown substantially in the recently past, notably as Namibia began exporting beef, charcoal, and other products to the United States. Namibia was the last stop on Cook's current visit to Africa, which also included Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. Now let's have a look at our economic indicators. Now, the Namibian dollar did not move against any of the major currencies despite the uncertainty in the world. While most stocks stayed at the previous levels, First Rand stocks increased with 0.01% to 29.50%. Now, SBN Holdings as well as the local index were down, while the overall index went up with 2.92%. On the commodity markets, gold is down while all the other metals are up. Oil has risen with another 6.7%. Up next, the weather, right after the break. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now let's have a look at our weather predictions. Cloudy or partly cloudy conditions are predicted for the entire northern part of Namibia, as well as for the east and the central regions. And with the exception of Rehoboth, the entire south and the coast will also see some clouds. The hottest places in the country are Katima Mulilo and Mariental at 33 degrees. We expand more on the current situation in Ukraine after the break when we tackle international news. Welcome back to Sunset News, and thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at our international news. Ukraine has been having success in using Turkish-made drones to infiltrate the airspace above, invading Russian convoys and turning the convoys into exploding fireballs. Now, the Wall Street Journal reports that the Ukrainian Air Force is crediting its new Turkish-made drones with destroying a large number of Russian weapon systems with guided bombs. And the chief commander of Ukraine's armed forces, Valery Zaluzhny, posted a video of such a drone strike turning multiple Russian trucks into a fireball, adding to the comment, "Welcome to hell." Now, the video was posted on Facebook with a text that says that the Bakata drone struck a Russian convoy near the city of Malian, around 97 kilometers northwest of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. A few such videos show multiple bombs hitting Russian weapon systems in wooded areas and in convoys. Now, the drones seemed to be very effective at exploiting long Russian military convoys stuck in traffic jams. Now, these stuck convoys present the drones with the opportunity to target an explosive-laden target like a supply truck. Once the truck and its explosives are hit, the massive explosion often blows up multiple surrounding vehicles and troops. Russian troops have been seen deploying anti-aircraft missiles effectively against such drones.
The Wall Street Journal reports that the Ukrainian Air Force is crediting its new Turkish-made drones with destroying a large number of Russian weapon systems with guided bombs. The chief commander of Ukraine's armed forces, Valery Zaluzhny, posted a video of such a drone strike turning multiple Russian trucks into a fireball, adding the comment, "Welcome to hell." The video was posted on Facebook with text that says the Bayraktar drone struck a Russian convoy near the city of Malin, around 97 kilometers northwest of the Ukrainian capital of Kiev. A few such videos show multiple bombs hitting Russian weapon systems in wooded areas and in convoys. The drones seem to be very effective at exploiting long Russian military convoys stuck in traffic jams. These stuck convoys present the drones with the opportunity to target an explosive-laden target like a supply truck. Once the truck and its explosives are hit, the massive explosion often blows up multiple surrounding vehicles and troops. Russian troops have been seen deploying anti-aircraft missiles effectively against such drones.
Stay tuned. Sports news follows after the break. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now let's have a look at our sports news. Now, the Cricket national men's team starts the year off with an exciting ODI tri-series against Oman and United Arab Emirates. The 11-day-long tri-series will be hosted in Dubai from the 4th until the 14th March. Now, the Eagles will compete in 5 ODI games, which is part of the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2, whereby the Eagles play 3 games against Oman and 2 games against United Arab Emirates. Now, Namibia road and mountain bike cyclist Tristan de Lange said he's looking forward to his new journey as a road racer in Europe. The 24-year-old in 2019 African Cups double gold medalist said representing Namibia at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan, showed him he has more to offer in the road race. Now, the Namibia senior men's rugby team, the Welviches, have retained their 24th position on the world ranking according to World Rugby's latest report released on Monday. Namibia last played a competitive international fixture in November 2021 when they defeated Zimbabwe and Brazil in the World Rugby/Rugby Africa Stellenbosch Challenge tournament. Stay tuned for the highlights after the break.
The MyNA Property Show provides viewers with the best-in-class property content, from looking for the perfect house to transforming it to the perfect home, with focus on interior designing, transforming your garden into a tranquil haven, to going green and having the funds and security of financing and insurance. The MyNA Property Show has it all. Tune in and make your house a home with our monthly MyNA Property Show on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 on all the NMH Facebook platforms and our website TV channel 1up2, 1up2.com.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, here are the highlights. Rovos Rail, which operates throughout Southern Africa, recently embarked on its first 10-day biannual Namibian round-trip safari ride since 2019. Now, the vintage train with 18 coaches is considered to be the pride of Africa on wheels, as TransNami puts it in a press release. Now, the Society of International Railway Travelers has consistently rated Rovos amongst the top 5 luxury trains in the world. Now, the 10-day journey starts in Pretoria in South Africa, and upon arrival in Namibia, i.e., it reaches the border point at Arensvlei. Locomotives of TransNamib haul the train from Arensvlei to the rest of the country. Now, the Canadian gas and oil exploration company Reconnaissance Energy Africa announced the successful completion of its previously announced offering of a total of 7,475,000 shares at a unit price of Canadian dollars 6.35, which earned the company gross proceeds to the value of 47,466,250 Canadian dollars. Now, this announcement was made on the 1st of March 2022, follows an announcement a month ago by Recon Africa that it will rigorously defend lawsuits by company shareholders that have dragged it to court in the United States Court in Brooklyn, New York. Now, the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, this morning confirmed the detection of 3 typhoid fever cases in Namibia. The first case was confirmed on 27 January in the Windhoek district. Typhoid fever is transmitted through food and water contaminated by feces and urine of an infected person. Now, polluted water is the most common source of typhoid transmission. People can transmit the disease as long as the bacteria remain in their body. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. Now, make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook and all the NMH website on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Now, Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and on GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this is Sunset News.